welcome to another episode of Stateside Reds. As usual, it's me and Big Mikey. So, that way, should I say? Sorry we weren't here last week. We decided with the international break, me and Mikey work our asses off, so we decided to take a nice week off for ourselves. Spend some time with the family. But we're back, and we're going to start off with fake news or no fake news. David Ornstein saying 5 million. Sky Sports News are saying Chelsea are going to sign him anyway. What's your opinion, Mikey? Because it is all over the place. I don't know which one to look at anymore.
Well, I mean, I don't think the story has changed much from when Ornstein said it. The only difference is that, like I said in the chat, that 2 days ago we didn't know the fee was undetermined. 3 days ago it was undetermined. It was just saying it's going to be an absorbent fee or an extra fee or whatever the case may be. Now we've just gotten to the fee being 5, that it's not obligation to buy it. They have a clause that they can always do this fee thing, right? It's just Chelsea doing a good bit of business, right? Just protecting their back end and understanding, like, I mean, this is what I think. Let's just go into this. I think they're saying once again, the only word they're saying is like, yeah, they might buy. They still haven't put it out there yet. We still have a month and a half of season to go.
Yeah.
And they kind of know what they have. I also knowing Chelsea's history, even under this coach, this management regime and Todd Bowley and them, they will do this bit of business in a second to give this guy back.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't start. He hasn't scored in like 20 games. Since he started playing for them, he hardly gets on the pitch. And then they're trying to still see what's going on with Mudryk.
Yeah.
So Mudryk comes back. That pushes him further down the depth chart. And there's so much news going around about him with the freedom thing and not scoring and having this reputation of going everywhere and not panning out, falling out with Erik ten Hag, Dortmund coach saying their stuff. You know what I mean? It's just a whole that 25 goes to about 18 with these, and if you don't pick up your form in at least the next month and a half. So I think the story is still the same. The only thing that's changed is that Chelsea still hasn't made up their mind if they're going to bring him back or not.
Yeah.
They still have that ace in the hole, and they don't have to say yay or nay now. They could still change their mind. You got to leave the door open so you can still make this move. And Chelsea will do it. They do these things.
Yeah. I was reading some stats earlier. In 2025, his stats are pretty abysmal. He has 0 shots on goals. Obviously 0 goals. And 1 assist. And we're on 3 months and 24 days into the new year. That's pretty bad. I called it. I knew it was going to happen. He would start off good like he did at Man United, and then it would just crash like it did at Dortmund in his second spell, just like it did at City. It's sad to see because when he's on like he was at Dortmund, he's such a good talent. He really is a good talent. And it's where do you go there? Because if he comes back to Manchester United, he's not going to play for Man United. He'll be gone. I don't see the way that Amorim has setting up his backroom staff with not allowing this to happen. He's not going to allow a guy to come back into that dressing room and potentially upset the dressing room. So for me, he's just not going to come back at Manchester United. He won't play for Man United again, should I say.
Yeah.
So for me, I hope Chelsea take him, but if they don't and we get 5 million out of it and sell him for another 25 million, hey, we just gained 5 million. So it's a win-win for Man United either way. That's how I'm seeing it. I just wish we don't have to talk about Jadon Sancho anymore. Just like focus on, Man United, with 2 losses since January. I really want to focus on that. So we'll move on to ONANA. I'm going to kind of leave the Sancho thing there. Let's see where it goes.
I just want to say real quick, like,
Yeah.
people have been, I've talked to a couple of people on this subject, and they're kind of leaving the door open for him to make a return back at Man United because now it's a new coach, a new system, and maybe he'll fit in with his lack of pace. He could fit into that 10 spot.
Yeah.
being there. Now, I don't want him back. I think I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the whole. This experiment's done for me. It was done when he left. Even though I do think that Ten Hag got it wrong, and I think he started it. Ten
Mm-hmm.
Hag definitely started with coming out of his mouth the way he did, but then it turns out this is how Ten Hag was behaving the entire time with the entire dressing room. It's just that Sancho actually stood up to him, but he stood up to him in the wrong way. When you stand up to the coach, you got to stand up with your play. You got to stand up with, and then you look for a way out after that. You put some good string together, some good performances, a good bit of form, and then you could find your way after that. He did it and then didn't give us any good form. Actually took a break for a while. I don't know. So I don't want him to come back, but people have been entertaining this. Oh, okay, he could play in the 10. We think about getting rid of Ganacho. So, and it's like, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
He has to go too. I just fear that the value is going to drop.
Well,
And we're just going to have to take what we get for him.
yeah. No, I agree in that aspect. But here's my question to those people that are entertaining him.
Yeah.
How much money is he on a week?
100,000
at Man United.
Yep.
There's no way Jadon Sancho on
He's
100,000.
on 100,000.
I gotta look that up.
He's on
Not that I don't
100,000.
believe you. I just
I
like
mean,
with
I
the
could be
amount of
wrong.
money.
I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. I thought +Mayne was on more money, and he was on 20,000. So I watched United View this morning, and it said he was on 100,000. So they could. I'm getting it from them.
Yeah. Annual. Yeah, 13 million annual. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, that's about right. It's
And they're not paying all. They're paying 40%.
Yeah.
They're paying 40%. That's the way it's been told to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's still no. Jadon Sancho is on 250,000 per week at Manchester United. Man United are paying 50,000 of it. That's what I'm kind of getting online. 250,000 per week salary. Whew. Yeah. So, are fans okay with him coming back on that? Because I'm surely not okay with that.
I'm on Capology and it's saying 100 gross per
100
week.
gross.
Yeah, I'm on. That's what they were using this morning. Capology kind of breaks down where you are in the progression of your deal.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where I got the 100,000 from. But you never really know.
Reports
but
are all out there. Remember when they were saying Anthony was on 200,000, and then reports came out it was only on 100,000. It's like it's hard to tell unless you get someone's W2 what they're really on.
When people say these things on the internet, they get stuck up there, right? Like if you report, it gets stuck there for that time frame, and then things change. So then it just becomes like if you type it in, you're gonna see that from like I'm looking at one right now. It's like 3 months ago, and it's like
yeah,
it's not the same. But either way, it's still too much money.
Yeah,
he's still on too much money. We have to figure. I don't know. I'm glad that they're paying some of it, but I need them to take it all and like not even entertain this idea. But good on Chelsea. Chelsea has our number when it comes to fucking us for players. They gave us, and I was thinking about all the players they've given us that haven't worked out, right? The only player that kind of worked out for me that we've gotten from Chelsea was 𝗕𝗏.
Yeah. I thought Matic was okay. I don't think he was exciting. I thought he was okay.
Yeah, we
didn't really get him for much either.
When you sign someone from a team like a Chelsea, like a rival, you want them to at least do as good as they did at that same. And I just don't feel like we ever get that from our rivals, like our B tier rivals, because they're not our rivals, right? They're just rivals because they're in the top 6 with us.
Yeah.
But it's not a historical rivalry between us and Chelsea. But when you get a player from Spurs or Newcastle or whatever the hell, you would like for those players to be better than what they were at those teams. And I just feel like in the last few years, 𝗕𝗏 is the best player we've gotten from there. He was in a decline.
I think it's just as bad going the other way though. Like if you look at Varane, 𝗕𝗏𝙍𝙀, Mark Bosnich, like some of the players that have gone from United to Chelsea have not exactly been great either.
I
Paul
thought Varane
Parker
was
went.
Vo- Sebastian Varane, right?
Yeah,
He went back and was better there than he was with us. He went
yeah.
back and got back to his best at Chelsea.
He only played. He only played 12 games for Chelsea.
And then and
Yeah,
then and then what
yeah. He
happened
only
after
played
that?
847 minutes for Chelsea. 12 games, 1 goal, 1 assist.
How many games for us in goals and assists?
No, minutes played 5,692 minutes played, 12 goals,
Yeah,
13 assists.
that's awful.
Yeah,
That's an awful return.
yeah.
Wasted guy. Wasted.
He was such a yeah. I remember Paul Scholes saying how he feared for his career at Man United when Varane came in. It just didn't work out for Man United. Just goes to say, no, KC, we are not bringing back Sancho, and he is not misunderstood. Just wait. He's
I
just,
I just think something's wrong with him up here.
yeah.
He just or like also I feel like he's one of those guys that lack pace. And
Mhm.
like you can't play on that outside without pace, man.
Not
Like
anymore, no.
it's okay to be like this guy that's techers and all that. Like you can control the ball, but your decision making has to be on point and you have to have some athleticism on that wing. You have to. And he just doesn't have it. And he can't play the 10 primarily. Just can't do it.
Do you know where the Jadon Sancho thing, do you know where we can look at that in real time today outside of Jadon Sancho? It's called Anthony.
Oh.
Anthony's doing very well in Spain because he doesn't have the pace for the Premier League, but when he goes to a slower league, not better league, slower league, he's able to take the player on better. He's able to put crosses in better because he doesn't get shut down as quick.
Yep.
Same with Jadon Sancho. He did better at Dortmund because it's the slower league. It's not as fast paced, physical.
You
That's
got
why
time to look up and scan and
Yeah.
have the ball. Yeah, you can't do that in the Prem.
No. So yeah, I just wanted let's touch on the Sancho thing. ONANA. What are you hearing, Mikey? Because I haven't heard much. I just heard that he could be going to Saudi.
Yeah, so they're telling Onana to go ahead and learn Arabic, big man, because it's time to go. I mean, Ruben said that he was kind of done with Onana already, based on and what everybody knows. He's just making too many mistakes.
Yeah.
He's been in these last few games. He's been good, solid, but we know that mistake is coming. We know it's coming. We know he has at least another one in him, maybe back-to-back games. He's done it to us before. I think that experiment's done and it's time to go. I'm hearing from also what you call it said it. Sir Jim said it. Sir Jim is not a fan of Onana either. So the writing's on the wall for him. I don't think he goes to Saudi. I think there's a place for him probably in Italy.
Mm-hmm. Back at Inter.
I still think there's a place for him, and there's other leagues that will have him. That he could do well, and he doesn't necessarily need to go to Saudi Arabia, but he'll get paid handsomely just to go there, and people will watch when he makes a mistake, and he'll be a spectacle there. And just like how people were talking about how he was talking to 𝗦𝗶𝗴 today, that they didn't watch that game at all. They just seen him talking to Brian 𝗦𝗶𝗴 for the free kick, and that got more views than the actual damn game. So they'll do that for him in Saudi Arabia, and I'm just hearing it just looks like a go. Also, we have a goalkeeping crisis.
Yes.
We have a goalkeeper crisis. I also hear that we're looking at Zion Suzuki again to bring him back in. We're just going to have to pay him top dollar because, he turned us down because he didn't want to be behind Onana, which was smart. He bet on himself. Smart of him to do. Stayed where he was, and he's pulling out highlight save after highlight save where he's at. So it might be time to give him the reins or, really look to Bayern to shoulder the weight of this club. And I still don't think – I think Bayern is good.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a good goalkeeper. I do feel like he does have a problem with his feet, but he could keep the ball out the net. And that's what is most important anyway. That's the most important thing. So until he shows that he can't keep the ball out the net, we go with him, and then we might look at a Zion. But I think I'm hearing he's still injured, and we might not see much more of him to the end of the season.
Well, he's back on the training pitch today.
Okay, so how are we talking about next game, Game after that,
I would say next game, considering our next game isn't until next Tuesday on the 2nd. So he's got a week. So if he doesn't make that, we have a game on the 6th, which is against City.
I don't
He
think he
may
plays
miss
that
one or
game.
two of those.
Yeah, I don't think he
And
play. I think he doesn't play for a while unless they're just dead set on getting Onana out of there.
yeah.
Because Onana hasn't done anything recently to lose his spot.
No, he hasn't. No.
He's been pretty. He was good against Arsenal. And also, I say good. I mean, wasn't much for him to do, and the saves he did make, he made them. He was coming out, got the ball. The thing is with Onana is like when he does the simple thing, you're happy because it's like he doesn't do that shit all the time. He does the unconventional thing every time. So yeah, that ship sailed for me. I was the biggest Onana defender. I thought we had a player there, but we just don't. But let the record show. Before I started this show, I wanted 𝗕𝙬𝙍. I wanted 𝗕𝙬𝙍
Yeah,
so bad.
I did too. I'm not gonna deny. Like I did want David Raya. Fortunately, Arsenal got him on the cheap too. They got him for what, half the price that Onana cost us too, which was
He's probably one of the best. It's him and Allison at the top for me.
yeah. No, I completely agree with that. For me, losing Onana this season, is it more important for him to go?
Hold on, what the hell is Casey? I knew Onana.
I think
I
he meant
knew
Sancho.
Mikey would defend Onana giving free kick advice. It was the main reason why I said it, just to get a reaction out of him, and it worked.
I think he meant Sancho.
Let me get something for you. Here's the I got a reaction out of Mikey trophy. Enjoy that. It's porcelain.
I think you meant Sancho there, Casey.
He did a post on Facebook.
Oh.
About and I was like, and people were just making fun of it, and I was like, I don't know what he's telling 𝗫𝗺, but like 𝗫𝗺's listening to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's listening to him, so maybe he's telling him something that he knows about the keeper or whatever the case may be. I don't know what he's telling him. But 𝗫𝗺's like, yeah, okay. 𝗫𝗺, a good quality striker that plays in the Premier League. So maybe he's telling him like, look, that guy doesn't go good to his left, to his right. We don't fucking know. But it's also funny to see him giving anybody advice. That's also hilarious.
So is it Onana that wants to take the free kicks?
Onana's coming up and talking to 𝗫𝗺 about the taking the free.
Oh, okay.
And they're in a good scoring distance, or like at least to lob a ball over. So Onana comes up out of his goal to talk to him about it, and we still haven't figured out what he said. But like 𝗫𝗺's listening to him like, okay, cool. Like, I'm gonna do whatever you're saying, like whatever the case would be. So I'm like, I don't know what the hell he's telling him, but I also know we don't know that either. He just looks like he's listening to him, but it's also funny to see Onana do anything. So
yeah, it's the fact that he can't find an open man when he's got the ball for Manchester United downfield says to me I don't want him anywhere near a free kick, to be honest with you. The only thing for me with Onana, there's two things, right? We got to look into the fact that we're going to lose him for the entirety of probably January next season if we keep him. What?
Yeah.
And then also, is that an area that's really, really important for Manchester United next season, considering where we're at financially? Because I don't see us getting more than 25-30 million for him in the summertime. I really don't. We're not going to get anywhere close for what we paid for him. So if we get 20 million, 25 million for him, you ain't going to buy a good goalkeeper for 25-30 million. The goalkeeper market's up there these days. You look at Kepa when he went to Chelsea. 55.
They overpaid though.
They did. But I'm on about like we overpaid though, didn't we? We overpaid for Onana. We paid, what was it, 55 million, 56.
That's about what you're gonna pay for a goalkeeper that just played in the Champions League final.
No, I agree with you. But if we only get 25, that's 25. What I'm saying is we sell him for 25. Now we need to invest another 25 to buy a goalkeeper instead of a possible really good wing back, or 25 million out of the budget towards a striker.
Yeah.
Is it an area that we really need to look at next season, or possibly wait another season? Because for me, I don't know. I think the defense kind of lacks confidence in him too. which then puts a lot of pressure on the defense for us. His ability to spill the ball quite often, his saving ability is pretty horrendous, and his ability to come out and catch a ball is even worse. It's like one of the worst in the Premier League. The amount of games I sit there and I watch, I'm like, come get it, come get it. You know you can jump with your hands, right? Like, just come get that ball, and he'll just sit there and it's kind of like a Matrix glitch when you're watching him. Sometimes it's like undecided what he wants to do. For me, yeah, I would go out and get another goalkeeper next year. 𝙈𝙊𝙍𝙀 went for 25, I think, 30 million. There's got to be a goalkeeper in the Premier League that's better than ONANA for me. I would rate him in the bottom 5 in the Premier League, to be honest with you, with his saving ability. And let's not forget, he slows.
I'd have to look that up.
Just my opinion. That's my opinion.
You can't rate somebody on your opinion.
Yeah, I can. I can rate a player like from watching the
goalies. Is a mathematical thing when you rate someone on their opinion. Top, bottom 5, so you could go and look at that and see if he's actually that. If you just feel like that, that's fine.
Yeah, I just feel like it. It's my opinion. I feel like it. I think he's bottom 5 in the Premier League. I really don't think
there's 5 worse goalkeepers than him.
Yeah,
I think there's 5. 3 of them belong to the worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
One of them belongs to Chelsea.
Yeah. What's it?
Sanchez.
That's it. Yeah, he's made some horrible mistakes too. Maybe there's. I would go get somebody, and I would spend 30 million, sell him for 25, 30. Go buy somebody for 30 million. There's a decent goalkeeper out there that we can get for 30 million that's better than ONANA, to be honest. It's kind of a shame because when he came to Man United, we brought him for his ball playing ability, but now he just hinders the team. You've probably seen it yourself when he throws the ball out or when he gets the ball, he just sits there with the ball, and the rest of the attack that are running, like Rasmus and the wingers are running, they're just sitting there like now having to turn around like, because he just holds the ball up too much, and for me it's a no-go. Time to move on.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I don't agree that he's one of the worst keepers. I think that's crazy to say. I think he is bad. He is bad for us. He has been bad for us. But I'm not gonna. There's so many guys that are terrible, like worse than him, that can't pass or save, and their defense is so terrible. They have to face a lot of shots, and they're not saving any. I think he'll be good someplace else, maybe somewhere else. And we just give 𝙈𝙍𝙍 the shot. We don't necessarily need to buy another keeper. We need to next man up it. He needs to go. He's making a living. We need to stop paying that dude. Okay, he needs to get the fuck on. Now he's injured too, so he needs to get the hell on. Okay, 𝙈𝙍𝙍, come on, get healthy. We're gonna sell ONANA. You're gonna be the number 1 now because everybody loves you after 2 games. Cool. We'll see. We'll roll the dice with that. I'm there with that. And who else do we got? Maybe we bring back one of our guys on loan.
Yeah.
And just see from there. But I don't think we need to be going out to spend money on a keeper. I just fear that like when we run it, if we run into issues with 𝙈𝙍𝙍, which can happen, we'll be up shit's creek. Goalkeeper is one of those situations where like it's one of those positions that like there's a lot of variables that you don't have any fucking control over that will reflect on you negatively. Now, ONANA's problem is that he's individually contributed to losses in this team more than anybody I've seen that play for this club, right? And I've only been watching for I'm 34, so about 20 years. So like he's been the worst I've seen in 20 years, easily. But I will say that there's a lot of times where we're put into these situations, the way we're set up, that teams take advantage of our 3 at the back and our shambled midfield that leave him up shit's creek with nothing to do, with nothing that he can do. So I feel like once the defense shores itself up, we can let 𝙈𝙍𝙍 be the guy that quarterbacks that. But other than that, the time is up. And I'm actually kind of tired of like the jokes around it because it's like this guy still plays for us. Like as much as I'm critical of all these guys, like I hate the fact that Luke Shaw is always hurt. I hate the fact that Mason Mount's always hurt. But like I'm not I want a redemption for these guys. I want
Yeah.
these guys to be able to put the shirt back on and do something for us. I want Anthony, another dude. I wanted him to come in and come good for us, but I would like for them to move on so they're not like a spectacle anymore.
Yeah. For me, when 𝗈𝗊𝙍 is fit, I play him for the rest of the season as a goalie. I know ONANA hasn't um done anything to technically warrant losing the place in the last 3 games, but we also need to look at, if you're looking at selling ONANA, we also have to look at 𝗈𝗊𝙍 and not give him a game or 2 games. We
Yeah.
have to give him a long stretch in the goal. He's going to make a mistake, so we have to kind of deal with that. But we also have to see what he is about and whether he really can be a Manchester United goalkeeper by giving him an extended shot in goal, whether he makes a mistake or 2. Because we know ONANA has the ability to make horrendous mistakes, and we know that 𝗈𝗊𝙍 has made a mistake against Tottenham. I don't know. I still think if VAR's there, they call that goal off. From pulling
Football
his arm down.
365 says that he's the 8th best goalkeeper in the Premier League by save percentage. He's over 70% save percentage.
Mhm.
So like Pickford is worse. Hermansen is worse. Robert Sanchez, 𝗈𝗊𝙍 is worse. Nick
Dubravka's
Pope,
worth. I wouldn't expect that one.
Allison has let in more than he has.
Mhm.
Like that's kind of crazy. But saves aren't the only,
Yeah.
they aren't the only stat that matter.
Yeah. For me, it's passing, it's awareness, saves, coming out of goal, connection with your defense. There's a lot that goes into being a goalkeeper. It's the same as striker, though. If you lose confidence as a striker, you're screwed. But like we can see that in 𝗕𝗏𝗄 Højlund. And if you look at ONANA, if you lose, confidence, you let the goals in rather than on the other end not scoring. And that leads us into the international break. We are going to do quite a short one today. The international break. United players doing good. Ďurgu with an assist the other day. Rasmus scoring again. Eriksen with a goal and an assist. I'm going to touch on Rashford. Yeah, he's still our player. I don't think he was that bad for England. I think he was okay. I didn't.
Just ran around, really. He got hooked after 70, right?
Yeah, he got hooked after 70. It was still nice to see him given the opportunity.
Yeah.
Now, I will touch on the Sunday game against Portugal. Rasmus Højlund got given a 2 out of 10, which was not good. Yeah, he got hooked on that one. So United players doing pretty well. Ząrski, he didn't go on international duty, but I can see him making a run for the team. He's doing pretty well for Man United. So I'm proud of the United players that went out on international duty. Fingers crossed. Most of the players are done now. Because there's not Premier League. There's the reason we're not playing this weekend is the FA Cup. That's why we're not playing this weekend. So England play tomorrow. I think tomorrow's the last day of the international. It looks like none of our players were injured. So coming back, and then we're looking at a huge boost coming back from the champion from that. We're looking at who was the players coming back. Mount will be back. Heaven's going to be back. I heard Luke Shaw's a possibility. Harry Maguire, Lenny Euro. It looks like all of these players are set to come back. Ahmed, Kobe Mainu, 𝗈𝗊𝙍, and Johnny Evans, and then Ďurgu's going to be back, obviously, because he's had the 3-game ban. A big win for Manchester United. No new injuries, and all of those players coming back. What's your thoughts on that?
The right time for international break. Now we got a gauntlet of games coming up. Yeah. So this is the time where you want the guys that haven't been in to come back in and make a difference. Mason Mount, I think the pressure's on him now.
Yeah.
I think out of all of these guys, he has the pressure because Luke Shaw just hasn't been able to do it for 9 years, 10 years. Yeah. Right? He hasn't finished the season in that long. So we kind of know that maybe there's an injury to be had still with him. We hope not. But but with Mason Mount is like, we paid this some X amount of money, and people are still hanging on to your glory days at Chelsea, which are far few removed now. You're a Champions League winner at Chelsea. You're a Player of the Year 2 times. Like, now we need to, especially with everything that's going on with Jadon Sancho, and our history with Chelsea and how they've been able to give us players and we not get anything much out of them. We got to really be looking at him. I think the pressure's on him. I still think there's a player there. I've been critical of him in the past, but that's only because I just feel like we're getting hard done by these injuries, right? And we knew he was injury prone before, or he had injury issues. I don't want to say prone. He had injury issues beforehand. So I think he's the biggest, he has the biggest target on his back coming back, and he has something to prove in this system. Amorim seems to love him for the way he plays, the way he presses. You guys love him for that.
Yeah.
I think that's a prerequisite to playing football in today's time. I think making a 5-yard pass is a prerequisite to it. So let's just see. I'm hoping he's ready to go, and we could because we got City coming up. We got Lyon twice. We got Nottingham Forest coming up.
We got Forest, City, Lyon, Newcastle, Lyon.
Come on. Newcastle's gonna be hungry. They just won something for the first time in 70 years. They're gonna be ready to finish their season off strong. They still got stuff to play for. City still has stuff to play for. Lyon is hungry to not have their existence as a club end if they don't make good in this and make it to the Champions League. That's literally will probably drown their club if they don't do well. So they have everything to play for, and they got ballers. So it'd be amazing if Mason completed this season or just available for the season. No, it'd be amazing if he could come and put on some performances.
I am and people criticize. I with the Casey thing, if he can have a run of games 5-6 without being injured, I think he is extremely valuable for this team in a number 10. Extremely valuable for Manchester United. The guys won a Champions League. I know it was at Chelsea. I know that was before the injuries, but you don't lose that mentality of winning something. I love his pressing, and I love his pressing because that's what Amorim wants. Amorim can't do it right now. Remember, he said he changed his tactics to stop the high press. That's why he wants Mount so bad to be able to play, is because he'll be able to allow that high press. Rasmus, I don't know if anyone's ever seen this at Atlanta. He scored 2 goals off of pressing from the goalkeeper. It shot the goalkeeper, tried to get it out. It came off of Rasmus and went into the back of the net. Rasmus has stopped pressing. That's due to lack of, his ability to score a goal, and then that goes into mentality. So if you can have Rasmus pressing, you got Mason Mount pressing, and then you got maybe Bruno pressing, because Bruno presses really well. Then it allows Amorim to press that high line. Back line makes mistakes. You've got an entire front 5 sitting there ready to poach onto a goal. That's why it works so well at Sporting, because he loves that high press. So I think it's an integral part of his system, and I think Mount really suits that 10 role. Compared to where he was playing at the 8 last season when he was fit. Not only that, I've seen Mount play, man. He's so good when he's not fit. When he is fit,
I gotta see it, man, because his coming off for Chelsea he was declining.
Yeah,
he wasn't their best player anymore. They were happy to they were mad when he ended up leaving because of who he went to.
Yeah,
but then when it didn't pop off for him, they're like, oh yeah, good, thanks for the 70 million, we appreciate it. Like, great doing business with you. I think I will disagree on the fact that you do lose the mentality to win things when you haven't won it in a while. These things don't stay with you. You have to rebuild it. Just like with Rasmus, like just because Rasmus not scoring a goal, he still needs to be doing the little things like pressing, right? Like, it's a prerequisite just to be playing football in today's time. So I definitely think that I want him to do well, but I'm okay. I'm not gonna give you 7s and 8s for pressing. I need you to be spraying that ball forward and getting us in good positions and scoring goals.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to see more than that, because people will rest on their laurels. Like, did you see what he did? We put the goalkeeper under pressure, and it's like, okay, yeah, thank you. You got to chase after lost causes. That's a part of football. You never know, things happen. Um, Ronaldo said something interesting here, that whenever Binder is fit, let him keep Prem games. Let ONANA play Europa. I think that's the opposite, brother. I think we need to let ONANA play in the Prem, because we don't really give a fuck about what happens in the Prem. We're not getting relegated. We might fuck around and end up being 12th, and then that'll be that. But we all in for Europa now, so we might let Binder play Europa and let him show himself there. Now, granted, who has more of the experience and what? But at the same time, this is the same ONANA that got us put out the Champions League last year.
Yeah.
So, I give him that chance. Praise him, man, for doing them job. Yeah, I just think Preston is a part of the game, and like if this fan base, Mark's on you. He's on you now, bro. He's on you. He's I don't think that's what he's saying, but I do agree that we have press triggers that we don't necessarily play into as the game progresses. And the later we get, is the lazier we get in games, especially when we're down a goal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either we turn up late and then the press comes, or we're behind it and we're getting played around. And like, I need to see a more coherent pressing from everybody. And Mason Mount needs to lead that charge since he's so good at it.
Yeah, and it's not just the pressing with Mason Mount. It's like his ability to ping a pass. Like his goal scoring isn't exactly the greatest. Like he can score, but he's not a guy that's going to get you, 20 goals a season. But neither are other than Bruno Fernandes. Neither are other number 10s, are they really? So,
not Rasmus. Rasmus won't get.
Rasmus is not number 10. He's a number 9.
Rasmus won't get us 20 goals a season.
He's not a 10. He's a 9.
Oh,
remember I was talking about 10s here, Mike.
Okay.
I see where you're going with that though. But yes, number 10s. I honestly think if you can get a good run of game, because we haven't seen him for more than 4 games in a row. We haven't.
Yeah.
If we can get him 5, 6, 7, 8, I think he can get his confidence back. And then you got this awesome manager that we have who will hype him up. Will also get that confidence back, like, because we all know how much Amorim loves Mason Mount. So before I give up on him, I want to see a run of 8, 9 games and say, hey, okay, this is where we're at. If he's not good after 9 games in a row and he's still not producing, I'll be the first one to say, okay, the press isn't enough. But if he can come back for those games and show us something, why not?
I gotta see. I think he can.
Yeah, I do think he can come back and show us something that he's got in that 10 position. I'm just hoping his career's not over because of injury, like Luke Shaw. I just hope it's not, because there is a really good, like Luke Shaw. They're both, when they're fit, can be really, really good players.
Sean, I hope I'm wrong, but Mason Mount is a training horse.
But Cheese, did you ever see him at Chelsea when he was good? That's the problem. Have you ever seen him when he was good?
What is wrong with this guy, bruh? I hope I won't say that he's bad. I did say in New York on United View that I don't know what he does well that's going to benefit this team long term, that we couldn't get from somebody else. But he was really good at Chelsea in his heyday. In that time, he was good. So maybe he could channel that. How old is he? 27?
Yeah, about 27. And let's not forget, the season before Chelsea sold him to us, he won the Player of the Season at Chelsea for 3 years in a row. So he's like, it was the season before that they sold him. It was only because of injuries, and he had a downturn in. I heard about Prime Mason as a blue. Don't hear about Prime Mason. Go look it up. We have YouTube. Go look how good he.
But how long ago is this now? Right?
That was 4 years ago. 4 years ago. So we got him 2 years ago. He had a downturn at Chelsea due to injuries and also not playing, so obviously he wasn't going to have a good season. 4 seasons ago. Now, again, I am going to be the first person to say, if he has a run of games and he's not good, okay, let's
I
move
think you
on.
got to give him more than 9 games too, right? Because he's
Yeah.
coming off an injury. So the first few games will be like a blip. And then
Yeah.
after that, then we could see like, listen, I hope the guy does well. I hope
Yeah.
all of these guys do well. As long as you're wearing a red shirt, okay, or like you're contracted to this club, I hope you're doing well. Like that, when I say mean by that, like you're on loan for us because this guy's on Dan Gore, Wheatley, Rashford, guys like that. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing. Onana have more CTE than Casey Gale. Henceforth, his experience matters not. Okay. Let Binder show out in the Prem. Okay. Onana's experience matters more for Europa. Man was a runner-up with Inter and UCL. Okay, since then, what's happened? He got us put out in the group stage.
He did. But with a calamity of yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Plus, he's won 2 domestic cups for us. Now, see that I will say he was integral in getting us those 2 goals because he makes the save against Coventry there to get us there.
Yeah, but he also
go ahead.
He could have also cost us massive in the FA Cup final because that let-in was horrendous. You know, so when you score in the last minute of the game, as Man United fans, we know if you score in the last minute and you're 2-0 down and you've got 6 minutes added on, there's always that possibility of getting another goal. I think if it isn't for Varane and Martinez, he goes in and lets another goal in that game. Because Varane and Martinez are incredible.
Y'all Bray putting a coldish bind in a hot cup run. Was he not cold when he came in the other day, a couple months ago, and he came in and he made those crazy saves? What is that, against Arsenal? Yeah. That's against Arsenal. Didn't he save 2 penalties? Yep. And he was cold. He just had a stinker against Spurs. Before that, we were like, oh, we got 2 goalkeepers that suck. People were ready to get rid of him too. And then he comes in and makes 2 penalty saves. And keeps us in the game.
He looked like a young David De Gea in that game.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he looked like it too, passing the ball, but like he actually saved us the game, like a David De Gea would. So I don't think that works here. I don't think it works here. I wish somebody believed in me as much as Sean believes in Mount. Why are they on you today? Why are they on you today?
What I don't understand is why the hate for Mason Mount. He's injured, right? He's been injured most of his time at Man United. None of you seen him play at Man United. So why the hate for it? I get that he's injured.
Wage. I think the wage.
He's not on that much though. Look how much he's on.
70 million. The deal was for 70 mil, wasn't it?
No, it's 55.
Was it?
It's 55, yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right, I gotta look at it.
Pretty sure it was Mason Mount.
Mason Mount to Man United.
55. Chelsea for initial 55 million.
Is he worth 55 million? Is he worth 55 million pounds?
Yeah.
Initial 55. So what does it end up being after add-ons?
Well, we didn't get any add-ons because he ain't playing.
It says $60 million deal.
Yeah, but he doesn't get that 5 million, do they? Because he hasn't been playing.
But if he plays, right? If he ends up coming back and playing, like, what's the deal? Play 10 more games or play 20 games through the season will give you like, God. He's here until 2028. It's crazy. Let's give him some time, guys. Let's give him some time.
Give this man some time.
Let's give him some time. I'm here. Listen, I mean, his value has gone down to 28 million. So, you know, we got to stick it out with him. We got to stick it out. He's 26.
Yeah.
26
but
years old.
That comment about Chelsea scamming us because they knew he was injured. Well, did Ajax scam us because Martinez has been out half of his career at Man United? Did Southampton scam us because Luke Shaw's been out most of his career at Man United?
They scammed us with Anthony. We should have never.
Well, yeah, we scammed ourselves with Anthony because we should have sold him for 35 million at the beginning of the season. We waited till 3 days before the season started, and they were like, "No, if you want him, you got to pay over the odds." We royally fucked ourselves with that one.
That shouldn't even been a question. Like we could pay because he was on a decline too. He wasn't. He was on a decline at Ajax. I remember Ajax fans telling me, I don't know why you guys are spending that much money on him. He's not worth that. Yeah. He's not worth it. And then it's like, it's just funny how people view leagues. Because like the Eredivisie is not even like close to what we would think like a Ligue 1 is, right? In terms of players and teams. It's Ajax, it's Feyenoord, it's PSV, and then what? After that, then everybody else is pants. But we bigging up this guy who's tearing up the Dutch league, and we give him $100 million. But then we turn around and call all these other leagues terrible, who are higher in the league coefficient. It's crazy. You remember he had to get 2 physicals.
I don't remember him.
There's no hate, but Chelsea scammed us. They knew he was injured. Now, see, that's what you were talking about. Okay,
Yeah.
It's not hate for me. I just think man is finished. Injuries got him. I think that's fair to say. Bayern was at least training. He's training now. He's training now.
He only just came back today.
He's training now. He's gonna be training for the next week. Come on, Ronaldo, man. See, I depend on you, Ronaldo, to be the voice of reason. You letting me down today. You done put up 4 stinkers in a row. Onana needs to be playing in the Prem, where nothing matters. Nothing matters.
Sanjeev, I do believe in you as much as I believe in you. Don't be jealous.
That's funny. That's funny. But yeah, once again, bro, these guys play for us, and so we hope that they all can figure it out. I'm not against Mason Mount. I just need to see it. I'm gonna need to see it, guy. I don't get excited for what could happen or should happen. I just need to see it. You need to prove it to me. I'm more of a, what is it called, a skeptic. Yeah, I'm gonna scrutinize every damn thing I see until I see a pattern here. And what I'm seeing is just a pattern of injury. So I'm hoping he can come back and be the guy from 4 years ago.
For me, he hasn't been on the pitch long enough for us to go, okay, he's not a good player.
Not true.
Yeah,
true.
I think that's just where it, for me, that's where I lie on the situation. I would like to see him on the pitch more to make a real, judgment on whether he could be good for United. Y'all wanna drop ONANA on a good run because y'all fear the mistake.
Because it has to happen. It has to happen. What did I just say?
We don't fear it. We know it.
It's gonna happen. He has that in him. He has that. Yo, I could play good for 5 games, and now I'm gonna give you 3 games where I fuck it up, and we might win 2 of them, but I'm gonna give away some goals in these games.
And we can't fear, and we can't expect a mistake from ONANA in a situation where, just like Lyon, we need to win that game. We need everyone 100%. And for me, I believe 𝙈𝙊𝙍 for me is better at that. Yeah, he had a stinker at Spurs, but let's not forget one of those goals was also, if there was VAR, would have got called off. The Spurs player clearly held his arm down when the ball went into the back of the net. A week later, when the ball went in from the corner, because remember we had 2 in a row, who was in goal for that? ONANA. Was anyone holding his arms? Nope.
To be fair, I have not seen enough of 𝙈𝙊𝙍 to be this gung-ho about the decision. So Ronaldo, you got me on that. I have not. We haven't. We just haven't seen it. We've seen 1 bad game, and then 2 good ones?
Yeah, 2 good games.
2 decent ones, and then in one of them he saved 2 penalties. So like our expectation is fucked because we have the smallest sample size to go off of. So I will say that. Does Antony have more value than Mount? You see these
guys. That's a catch-22.
A pretty good question. Now I think
it's a good question, but it's a catch-22 because Mount has been injured. Anthony's just been shit.
Ooh.
You hear
that, Casey?
Yeah, so it's like we haven't seen anything of Mount to say his value's gone down. His value's gone down because he's been injured. Now, if he had played for the last 2 years and been decent, no, I don't think his value is less than Anthony's. I think it's way more than Anthony. The only reason we're talking about any value whatsoever for Anthony is because he's gone to a slower league and is doing well. That is it. Because remember, we were going to sell him for $5 million and a pot of rainbow gold about 2 months ago.
Some chicken 65. I would have got him out of there for a pack of Newports and some chicken 65.
Yeah, that's how bad he was for United. Yeah. So to say I'd still say Mount has more value.
I mean, okay, so what's the deal that Anthony's on at 𝗈𝙑𝙍 Betis? Like, what's the obligation to buy number at?
There's no obligation.
Okay, so what's the
So United
the
are saying if you want him, you have to give us 45 million British pounds.
okay? So right now, Mount's at 28
Yeah,
million British pounds. So
but
like
yeah,
Anthony but like you said, one's playing and one's just hurt.
yeah.
I feel like if they both had the same run of games,
That'll
Mount
be
would
worth.
have the higher one.
Yeah,
Mount would definitely have the higher one. La Liga heads rate him. I mean, you don't have to be a La Liga head to rate him. He's scoring and assisting in every goal that he's in, every game that he's in. That's output.
if Anthony was
They
spelled,
beat Real Madrid, didn't they? They beat Real Madrid or
they
some
did
shit
beat him
like that.
1-0. Yeah,
Yeah, like he was integral in that win too. If Anthony was spelled Anthony and he was English, he would be 80 million. Yo, your boy Sanjeev is on some shit today.
he is. Let me get you on a backhander here, Sanjeeves. Didn't he cost us fucking 80 million anyway?
True. Mount can't even get healthy enough for MLS. Whoa.
You guys
Yo,
hating
you know
on this
what?
boy, man.
I'm backing Mason Mount now. There's too
Mhm.
much Mason Mount hate, and we already told y'all he ain't played long enough, and y'all are just being disrespectful now. I'm backing Mason Mount. Mason Mount, goal and assist first game back. Book
Mhm.
it, because I said it. Clip this up. Y'all don't know how to clip anything, so
Yeah.
clip
And
that up.
let's not talk. We're talking about Anthony and ONANA and experience, right? In the Champions League, because he made it to a final. Last time I checked, Mason Mount has more Champions League titles than anybody on this pitch.
Except for Casemiro.
Well, Casemiro, yeah. But Casemiro, yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You got me on that one. Other than Casemiro, Mason Mount has he has the second most on the team.
God damn. Who else on that team has won a Champions League?
None of them.
Nobody.
Nope. Only Mason Mount and Casemiro have won a Champions League.
That says something to me too. That
Mhm.
like I don't think you can have a team like that for too long. You need some experienced players that've been to the mountaintop.
Mount set up the goal for Chelsea
Mm-hmm.
to score to win the Champions League.
Who scored it?
Who scored it?
The Havertz?
It wasn't Havertz. Yeah, it was Havertz. Yeah, Mount set up Havertz. Yeah. Hey, hang on a minute. So Havertz has more Champions League titles than the entire history of Arsenal. That's pretty funny.
And damn, he's out for the season too, huh?
Yeah, he's out.
ACL.
Yep.
What do you want to bet, Mikey? I bet.
Oh, I've got a bet. I got a bet.
I don't bet money. I'm against betting money, but
Mikey, I got a perfect bet.
Okay.
You ready? If Mason Mount, do you want to do the next game or do you want to do this?
Whenever he plays, whenever he comes into the game, he will
has to
score.
start.
Fair. If he starts a match for Man United at any point in this season, in any competition, we're only in 2 now. If he starts any and he scores or assists, how does that sound?
Yeah.
I don't know. So
I've got it for everyone.
The next match he starts in, if he scores or assists in a goal or a goal contribution, whatever the case may be.
If he does that, I want a video from all of the people on part of StateSideReds once a week for the rest of the season.
I would like Casey to apologize to Sean. All right, I would like to stand outside your pub and apologize to Sean. Have somebody hold the camera this way and apologize to Sean for your blasphemous ways. That's what I would want. And then you could make your bet for whatever. I think last year I bet the Chelsea guy that we would finish higher than them, and like the bet was that we would have to wear the opposite jersey.
Chelsea,
the entire year. So that guy doesn't work at the pub anymore. he never bought the jersey and shit. But just know that I would have been making him. I would have bought a jersey just for him and made him wear it. He was our bartender at our pub. No, I want Mount to do well. Seems like a good lad. Yeah, there's a lot of players who are. Oh, this is what I think, Casey. If he scores, I will buy you a Yankees jersey and you have to wear it.
To a Dodgers game.
You have to wear it to the Dodgers game. You have to wear it. There you go. There's a lot of players who are good lads. That don't mean they should play for the Yankees. The Yankees only hire good people, good lads. So he would be right. He would be. If you want to go to the Dodgers, if you want to go to the cheating, lying people ruining
They called the
baseball,
Yankees for a reason. The good old boys.
the good old boys. Yeah, well, the Rebels are the good old boys. They're the good old boys. I know. I live next to a few of them. But yeah, Mark Cheeseman is laughing with a whale emoji. Okay,
I don't know. That's pretty cool emoji.
I like that. I like that. We need to have our own emojis with our face.
That's easy. You know how that's easy. You know how many times a week I apologize. That's 300 push-ups straight as Mount scores or gets an assist in his first match. 300 push-ups straight.
I can't do 300 push-ups
Dude,
straight.
I struggle to do 30, dude. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I could do like 45, bro. I can't do no 300. What the hell? You want me to hurt my back? Anywho, I just want to give. I know we're kind of winding down here. We went an hour.
We did.
Have you worn the jersey once? A Yankees jersey? Yeah, I have Yankee jersey. What the fuck? I have one. It might not fit. I have one. Quick shout out. We dropped a video today with our. I want to say she's from Manchester, right? She had the Manc accent. With Natty B. I'm calling her Natty B.
A new addition to the team.
Our new addition to our Stateside Reds. She's done a lot of work in the YouTube space before. She had a decent channel before, way bigger than ours. And Casey met her. Casey will talk more about it tomorrow, but I just want to send a heartfelt thank you for today's video. Yep. Discussing the women's game. We have been not doing the best job of covering the women's game, so we want women who watch this team, follow them, more than we do, to come in. Like, I keep my eye on it, but they're watching it, and I want like professionals to come in and talk about it. That's Casey. Casey's good recruiting. That's Casey. I came in, me and her spoke on about 5 minutes. She went and did a video. I came in, edited up, did an intro, did a thumbnail, and that's what to expect from us now, right? If you want to be a part of this thing, it doesn't hurt. We'll get you in here. You saw Mr. Green last week or a week, 2 weeks ago. Mr. Green was in here. I want to get Mr. Green in here more. Now we got our own Manc now. This Stateside Reds, but it's a community for all Reds.
We got two Brits on the show. Two Brits on the Stateside Reds.
We got two Brits. We got an Irishman. We got a Trinidadian, a Jamaican, and then we got a Georgia Bulldog. So, we got everything. We got everything. Yeah, great work. Shout out to Sanjeev. Sanjeev, we've been on the show before. This is a community, bro. This is a community. So, yeah, thank you so much, Natalie, for doing your thing. And I can't wait to see. You got me. Look, she did such a good job. I'm locked in for the next game against Everton. I'm watching that. And then the strike from Grace Clinton, that 40-yard lob.
Oh, boy, that was a great strike.
I mean, let me just say this real quick. She fouled the ref was blind. She fouled the fuck out of the Aston Villa player. Drug her to the ground, took the ball on, stepped forward, see the keeper was off her line and put it in. Beautiful. Born and bred in Manchester. So shout out to Natty B, man. Born and raised in Manchester.
Real quick there, Mikey. So I believe Sanjeev's coming with me. So we're actually going to Manchester. So I might reach out and see if she wants to do an episode of Stateside Reds with me and Sanjeev over in England.
Yep. See, Casey, we already think about doing the work, man. We going to Manchester. We already think about doing the work. I think I'm going to go next season too. I just haven't nailed down when. I'm starting a new job at a new law firm, so we'll see what's up with that. But it's going to be a lot of work from home, so I could probably work from England. Yeah, but yeah, shouts out. Just thank you, Natty. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Everybody that's going to watch this in the future, because there's a lot of y'all. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends to tell a friend to tell a friend. This has been Stateside Red. You got anything else for us?
No, other than the 7 people watching right now, and we only have 4 thumbs up. So, rest of you hit those thumbs up. Yep. Everything helps with the algorithm. So, and the algorithm works, as we can show with Mr. Green. Algorithm really works for YouTube, and the more that you guys give that thumbs up, the more it allows us to get new viewers. So, we really appreciate all of it.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. This has been Stateside Red. Enjoy not having football from this Man United side for another 8 days.
You forgot 2 things real quick, Mikey.
Go ahead.
Tomorrow's show. Are we doing tomorrow's show?
I can do tomorrow's show. I would like to talk to the LA guys, see what they think about the transfer stuff.
Yep. So we'll do that, and then also sponsor.
Oh, before I forget, and I apologize, we got to talk about our sponsor, or the great sponsor, which is 𝙈𝙊𝙍𝙀 and 𝗕𝙀 LLP. Listen, personal injury, you slip on a banana peel in Walmart, you slip on some ice in a restaurant, you call up 𝗕𝙀. 𝗕𝙀 gonna say, listen here, man, come down to the office, come down to 5821 Ventura Boulevard, Suite 520, East Building in Encino, not in Sherman Oaks. Remember, they're not in Sherman Oaks no more. They got away from Casey and his craziness. They moved to Encino. All right, don't know how far that is because I'm not from California, but Encino, California, 91436. You go ahead, see 𝗕𝙀, see Ike, see 𝗦𝗶𝗴, see all them men there. All right, and the thousands and thousands of experts they can get you in contact with, and they're gonna make sure you get paid. Don't kill nobody, but personal injury, wrongful death, all that good stuff. We're talking about $400,000, $100,000 they've gotten for people. I've seen it. It's crazy. So that's 𝗕𝙀 LLP. You know what it is, man. My favorite part is the number 747-444-4444. Oh, and if you get harassed by a crazy Karen in the street, like Cheese did for no reason,
That was weird.
don't do nothing. Just get on the phone with 𝗕𝙀. He gonna handle you. He gonna set you up. But shouts to everybody, man. Thank you so much for watching tonight, man. This has been StateSideReds, the best stateside Man United podcast in the land. Until next time.
We will be back tomorrow, and we'll see you there. Peace out.
Make United.